If you're new here, my name is Sylvie and today I've got another video for you. Today's video is episode number 2 of my new series on this channel, which is the To Add or Not to Add, better known as the Infinite Wish List. Basically, this idea wants to encourage you to make assumptions on gorgeous covers I know nothing about before reading the synopsis on Goodreads. And finally, I will decide if I'd like to add those books to my wish list or not. Before starting today's video, I'd like to apologize for the length of the previous one, because as you might understand, this is a work in progress and I didn't think that the previous video was so long. For this reason, I decided to make it shorter. So from today, you will see just 6 instead of 12 covers, and I really hope to be able to make this type of video a weekly series. So, without any further ado, let's get started. The first cover is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Nora Neale Huston. So this cover gives me some historical or contemporary vibes. I think it is set in Africa. Maybe the main character is blind because of watching God, or this book involves religion in some way. Let's see what it is really about. One of the most important works of 20th century American literature, Zora Neale Huston's beloved 1937 classic, Their Eyes Were Watching God, is an enduring Southern love story sparkling with wit, beauty, and heartfelt wisdom. Told in the captivating voice of a woman who refuses to live in sorrow, bitterness, fear, or foolish romantic dreams, it is the story of fair-skinned, fiercely independent Janie Crawford and her evolving selfhood through 3 marriages and a life marked by poverty, trials, and purpose. Through literary wonder, Huston's masterwork remains as relevant and effective today as when it was first published. Perhaps the most widely read and highly regarded novel in the entire canon of African American literature. So, it is nothing about I've expected, so my assumptions were wrong, but I'm happy because this is, as the synopsis said, a classic of African American literature, and I really want to read it, also because of this very strong feminism theme, and it is written by a black author, so definitely want to add this one to my wish list. The second book is Indestructible Object by Mary McCoy. So I think that this book is a YA contemporary, and I decided to divide the suggestions that this cover gave me in 2 parts, because the upper part, which the presence of the flying birds, gave me some idea of somebody who is dead. So I think that the main character has lost a friend, as well as the part below, this street and bookshop and a coffee, gives me idea of music and books, themes, as well as maybe a romance that will evolve in a cafe. So now let's see what it is really about. Perfect for fans of What If It Is Us and Mary H.K. Choi. This stunning coming-of-age novel from Prince Honor author Mary McCoy follows a Memphis teen whose quest to uncover the secrets of love reveals new truth about herself. For the past 2 years, Lee has been laser-focused on 2 things: her job as a sound tech at a local coffee shop, and her podcast Artists in Love, which she co-hosts with her boyfriend Vincent, until he breaks up with her on the air right after graduation. When their unexpected split, the loss of her job, and her parents' announcement that they're separating coincide, Lee's plans her art and her life are thrown into turmoil. Searching for a new purpose, Lee recruits her old friend Max and new friend Risa to produce a podcast called Objects of Destruction, where they investigate whether love actually exists at all. But the deeper they get into the love stories around them, the more Lee realizes that she's the one who's been holding love at arm's length. And when she starts to fall for Risa, she finds she'll have to be more honest with herself and the people in her life to create a new love story of her own. Funny, romantic, and heartfelt, this is a story about secrets, lies, friendship, found family, an expired passport, a hidden VHS tape, fried pickles, the great and wide city of Memphis, and most of all, love. So I was slightly right in some parts and others completely wrong. But I think I'm going to add this one as well because of the podcast theme, a thing that I think I've never read before, as well as that this book is set in Memphis and about find your true own personality. And the next book is The Other Side of Perfect by Mariko Turk. I think that this book is a YA contemporary again. One thing for sure is the ballet theme, I hope. And so my idea is that the main character who has Asian origins attend an all-white ballet school, or that she has to recover after an accident. To be very sure, let's see what the synopsis tells us. Alina Keeler was destined to dance, but one terrified fall shatters her leg and her dreams of a professional ballet career along with it. After a summer healing, translation, eating vast amounts of cool ranch Doritos and binging ballet videos on YouTube, she is supposed to trade her pre-professional dance classes for normal high school, where she reluctantly joins the school musical. However, rehearsals offer more than she expected, namely Jude, her annoyingly attractive castmate she just might be falling for. But to move forward, Alina must make peace with her past and face the racism she had grown to accept in the dance industry. She wonders what it means to yearn for ballet, something so beautiful yet so broken. As so broken as she feels, can she ever open her heart to someone else? Touching, romantic, and peppered with humor, this debut novel explores the tenuousness of perfectionism, the possibilities of change, and the importance of erasing your voice. I'm happy that my assumptions are improving. I wanted to add this title to my wish list, especially because I think that it will have an honest sight on the ballet world. And next, we have Speak for Yourself by Lana Wood Johnson. So another YA contemporary, and this time our main character is a chubby girl that maybe will have to fight bullyism at high school and search a refugee on the internet where she finds friends or where she has created an alter ego. Or maybe that there was a terrible accident at high school that went viral on the internet, and so she decides to leave that school to attend a new one. But let's see what it is really about. Girl meets boy, girl likes boy, girl gets friend to help win boy, friend ends up with crush on boy. Skylar's got ambitious goals, and if she wants them to come true, she has to get to work now. At least she thinks so. Step 1 in her epic plan is showing everyone that her latest app is brilliant. To do that, She's going to use it when stayed at the Scholastic Exposition, the nerdiest academic competition around. First, she'll need a team, and Skylar's not always so good with people, but she'll do whatever it takes to put one together, even if it means playing Cupid of her teammates Joy and Zane at Joyce's request. Things get off to an awkward start for them. Skylar finds herself stepping in to help Joy, anything to keep her on the team. Only Skylar seems to be making everything more complicated, especially when she realizes she might be falling for Zane, which was not a goal. When Skylar figures out her feelings, prove her absolute potential to the world, and win state without losing her friends, or is her path to greatness over before it begins? Do you remember what I've just said about my assumptions? Where I was wrong. I didn't expect anything about this book and that plot because, wow, a nerdish academic competition, I'm in it again, so another egg to my wish list. Next book is With You All the Way by Cynthia Hand. So the cover doesn't give us a lot of hints. I think that it is an adult romance. Maybe the main character wants to find somebody to love, and the only thing that I hope is about traveling theme. So let's see what it is really about. Ada's life is a mess. She just caught her boyfriend cheating on her after a humiliating attempt at losing her virginity, and she headed up to here with her gorgeous older sister's unsolicited advice. But things really hit the fan during a family vacation in Hawaii, where Ada discovers her own mother is having an affair. Apparently, everyone is falling into bed with people they shouldn't. Everyone except Ada. But when Ada decides she's going to stop trying and start doing sex, that is, her best laid plan overlooks an inconvenient truth. Feelings, romantic or not, always get in the way. Just to be honest, I have no interest in this one because I think that the attitude of the main character is stupid and a bad one. So this one will not be added to my wish list. And the last book for today's video is Kim Jung, born in 1982, by Jo Nam-jo. My thoughts on this last book is that it is an historical fiction but based on a true story. I think that is set maybe in America or in South Korea. The main character has fled from North Korea. I think that she also has changed her own identity. Let's see if I was right or not. A fierce international bestseller that launched Korea's new feminist movement, Kim Jung, born in 1982, follows one woman's psychic deterioration in the face of rigid misogyny. Flawlessly, completely, she became that person. In a small, tidy apartment on the outskirts of the frenzied metropolis of Seoul lives Kim Jung. A 30-something-year-old millennial every woman, she has recently left her white-collar desk job in order to care for her newborn daughter full-time, as so many Korean women are expected to do. But she quickly begins to exhibit strange symptoms that alarm her husband, parents, and in-laws. Jung impersonates the voices of other women, alive and even dead, both known and unknown to her. As she plunges deeper into this psychosis, her discomfited husband sends her to a male psychiatrist. In a chilling, eerily truncated 30-person voice, Jung's entire life is recounted to the psychiatrist, a narrative infused with disparate elements of frustration, perseverance, and submission. Born in 1982 and given the most common name for Korean baby girls, Jung quickly becomes the unfavored sister to her puzzling little brother. Always her behavior is policed by the male figures around her, from the elementary school teachers who enforce strict uniforms for girls to the co-workers who install a hidden camera in the women's restroom and post their photos online. In her father's eyes, it is Jung's fault that men harass her late at night. In her husband's eyes, it is Jung's duty to forsake her career to take care of him and their child, to put them first. Jung's painfully common life is juxtaposed against the backdrop of an advancing career as it abandons family planning, birth control policies, and passes new legislation against gender discrimination. But can her doctor flawlessly completely cure her, or even discover what truly ails her? Rendered in minimalist yet lacerating prose, Kim Jung's born 1982 sits at the center of our global #MeToo movement and announces the arrival of writer of international significance. Even though this is a fictional story, it really gives me true story vibes, and it is a new view on the South Korean history, and I definitely add this to my wish list as well. So I will add 5 out of 6 books to my wish list. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have some titles you'd like to suggest me, please let me know down in the comments. As well as I'd like to know your thoughts about these 6 books and if you're going to add to your wish list as well. If you liked this video, please give a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I will wait for you in the next video. Ciao!